Imagine a world where a single act of kindness can change the course of a life forever. Picture a bustling summer afternoon, streets shimmering in the relentless heat, city dwellers moving in slow motion, seeking relief wherever a patch of shade falls. In the midst of this sweltering chaos, a small figure moves quietly, almost invisible to the world. Her name is Sophia. Barely 8 years old, her hair clings damply to her forehead. Her clothes are worn thin, and her eyes carry the weight of 1,000 silent prayers. Sophia doesn't belong to anyone. She is one of thousands, a child in the care of an institution, another name on a long, impersonal list. But today, desperation pushes her beyond the gates of the orphanage. She slips away, unnoticed. She's hungry, exhausted, and above all, suffocating in the oppressive heat. With every step, she clings tighter to a worn piece of paper, her only photograph with the mother she lost years ago. As the sun blazes overhead, her small voice trembles with a plea that echoes in the empty streets. "Please, Mom, it's too hot." Inside a nearby cafe, life goes on as usual. The whir of the espresso machine, the clink of glasses, the low hum of conversation, until a sharp movement at the door draws the attention of Clara, the cafe owner. Sophia stumbles in, cheeks flushed, eyes brimming with tears. She collapses into a chair by the window, unnoticed by most, but not by everyone. At a corner table sits Antonio, a man whose name is etched in headlines and business magazines. He's a self-made millionaire, known for his sharp mind and relentless drive. Yet beneath the tailored suit and polished exterior, Antonio carries his own memories of hardship, of nights spent hungry, of dreams nearly lost. He sees Sophia, and something inside him stirs. He rises, quietly crossing the room. He kneels beside her, his tone gentle but urgent. "Hey, little one, are you all right?" Sophia recoils at first, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. She's learned not to trust easily, but Antonio's voice is calm, his eyes steady. Clara joins them, offering a cool glass of water and a reassuring smile. As the minutes tick by, Sophia's walls begin to crumble. She sips the water, her trembling hands finally still. In halting whispers, she reveals where she's come from, a local orphanage, and why she ran away. She speaks of the stifling heat, but more than that, she talks about being invisible, unheard, and worst of all, afraid. Antonio listens. He doesn't interrupt, doesn't judge. Instead, he asks the questions no one else has bothered to ask. "Are you safe there, Sophia? Has someone hurt you?" Sophia hesitates. Tears spill down her cheeks as she confides her deepest fear. The whispers she's overheard at night, the locked doors, the children who vanish without a word. She's heard rumors, stories of children being taken away, never to return. Her voice falters as she confesses, I think something bad is happening inside." Antonio's heart pounds. He exchanges a glance with Clara, whose face has gone pale, her hands trembling. The gravity of what Sophia is saying settles over them like a storm cloud. In that instant, Antonio makes a decision, one that will change everything. He calls the authorities, his voice firm and commanding. "There's a child here in distress. She needs help, and so do the other children at her orphanage." The police arrive quickly, their presence drawing curious stares from cafe patrons. Sophia clings to Antonio's hand, her fear warring with a fragile hope. As the investigation unfolds, the truth emerges. Authorities discover evidence of neglect inside the orphanage. Rooms without ventilation, food rations stretched dangerously thin, and a chilling lack of oversight. Worse, they uncover the beginnings of a scheme that could have led to unthinkable harm for the children in Sophia's care. Swiftly, the orphanage is shut down, its leaders held accountable. But for Sophia, the journey is only beginning. Antonio refuses to let her slip through the cracks of a broken system. He works with Clara and the local child welfare agency to find Sophia a safe, loving foster home. He checks in on her regularly, ensuring her days are filled not with fear, but with laughter and hope. In the months that follow, Antonio's involvement shines a harsh light on the broader issues facing children in institutional care. The story of Sophia's rescue makes headlines, sparking a wave of advocacy for stricter regulations and more rigorous oversight of orphanages. Community leaders rally, demanding change. Policymakers respond, implementing new safeguards and increasing transparency. Across the city, and soon the country, stories begin to surface. Children who were overlooked, whose suffering went unseen. Inspired by Antonio's intervention, ordinary citizens step up, volunteering their time and resources to support vulnerable children. They organize fundraisers, mentor programs, and community watch groups. The collective message is clear. No child should ever feel invisible, and no institution should operate without accountability. Sophia's story is not unique. Around the world, millions of children live in orphanages, group homes, and shelters. Many receive the care and support they need, but too many fall through the cracks. Recent discussions among child welfare experts emphasize the urgent need for regular inspections, transparent reporting, and comprehensive background checks for all staff. In many countries, new laws are being drafted to ensure that institutions are not just shelters, but places of safety, growth, and genuine affection. Antonio could have turned away. He could have finished his coffee, gone back to his meetings, and let Sophia's pain remain unseen. But he chose differently. He chose to listen, to act, to believe that one person can make a difference. And in doing so, he reminded us all of a simple truth. Compassion is the foundation of real success. This story isn't just about one girl and one millionaire. It's about the power we all have, the power to notice, to speak up, to intervene when something feels wrong. It's about the importance of building communities where every child is known, valued, and protected. And it's about redefining what it means to be successful. True wealth isn't measured by bank accounts or business deals. It's measured by the lives we touch, the injustices we confront, and the hope we inspire. For Antonio, the experience changes everything. He channels his resources not just into business, but into building better futures for children like Sophia. He funds scholarships, supports foster families, and starts a foundation dedicated to child welfare reform. He visits schools, shares his story, and challenges others to use their influence for good. Clara, once a quiet cafe owner, becomes a fierce advocate for children's rights. She trains her staff to recognize the signs of neglect and abuse, turning her cafe into a safe haven for anyone in need. She partners with local agencies, offering meals to children in foster care and hosting workshops for new foster parents. Their actions spark a movement, a wave of empathy and action that ripples outward, touching lives across neighborhoods and cities. News outlets cover their story, not as a tale of tragedy, but as a beacon of what's possible when ordinary people refuse to look away. And what about Sophia? She grows, slowly but surely, into herself. In her new home, she learns to trust again. She discovers the joy of a warm bed, a shared meal, the sound of her own laughter ringing through the halls. She goes to school, makes friends, and dares to dream of a future free from fear. Years later, Sophia stands on a stage, her voice clear and steady. She shares her story, not for sympathy, but to remind others that even in the darkest moments, there is hope. She speaks of Antonio and Clara and the day her life changed because someone cared enough to see her. Her message is simple but powerful. You don't have to be a millionaire to make a difference. You just have to care enough to do something. In the end, the lesson is clear. The world changes, not through grand gestures, but through the quiet, steadfast actions of those who refuse to ignore suffering. It changes when we choose empathy over indifference, action over apathy. It changes when we believe that every child deserves a chance, not just to survive, but to thrive. If you've ever wondered whether your actions matter, let Sophia's story be your answer. Each of us holds the power to be a light in someone's darkness. Each of us can be the reason a child feels seen, heard, and valued. So the next time you see someone in need, don't turn away. Be the person who listens. Be the person who acts. Be the change you wish to see in the world. If this story moved you, And if you believe in the power of compassion and community, join us. Subscribe to our channel, share this message, and be a part of a movement that transforms lives, one small act of kindness at a time. And remember, your kindness could be the miracle that changes someone's world forever.